Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you one of the greatest titles in the history of the of clickbait interwebs. I shit you not. This is I have I have so many questions. Sterilization of the species, the real problem with shrinking penises, as opposed to all the bullshit complaints about shrinking penises. This is the real problem. Oh. Secondly, if you're having the kind of bloating issues that that Alex has, again, I'm not 100% sure that, I wouldn't have no way of knowing if his penis has changed size over the years. Clearly, his midsection has, and that will often create difficulties when visually, like when you have to start guessing as you pee. If the stream is always going to be off bowl out of the front because you're really just shooting in the dark, as it were. I don't think that's... All right, we'll find out. Obviously, he's going to use information about, like, fertilizers and the new studies and every study that they study and the lawsuit put forth on azatine or something like that. There's a fertilizer that this guy did this study on that feminizes animals and creates estrogen in the body. And so these frogs, this is where he got the initial story. These frogs were getting like dual testes linked together and ovaries. One had a complete egg sac, that guy's study was famously shut down by Monsanto or Dow or whoever it was. That said, they're going to basically lay off the increase in, like last week it was TikTok's turning your kids trans. This week it's fertilizer on corn. Never mind the fact that these assholes spend most of their waking days in normal interactions in restaurants shitting on people who eat organic or vegans or any of that kind of stuff, just for the record. But never mind. Let's see where this goes. He seems very upset. A lot of times, I just think it's a bad idea for Alex to shower right before a segment because it's going to do nothing for his confidence. Wait, why am I not hearing this? Oh, it got turned down. Why is that? There you go. Hold on. Something about... All right, here we go.
And they've got hundreds of articles out attacking me when I pointed out that...
Mocking. Not attacking. Alex, you're not worth attacking. The Sandy Hook stuff, especially in light of the shooting in Texas and that kind of stuff, makes you a particularly lame prick amongst humans. But you're also not... You don't chart the way you used to. And part of having all these newspapers out and saying they're after him, it's the same thing Russell does. And Jimmy even did a video about they're trying to shut him down. When they criticize you, they're coming for you. It's an attack because any criticism has to be an attack because you couldn't possibly deserve the criticism, right?
Men are becoming feminine.
Is that a long hair thing? I would just like to say, for the record, that as hold on. For the record, just having long hair, like I said, I don't think that automatically feminizes me. I'm just saying. It seems kind of old school. It's very 1950s. So obviously, Alexander Skarsgård did need a lot of GMO corn before shooting the Northman. Anyways, okay, so men are becoming more feminized because you're trying to hire staff and you can't get anybody who knows their stuff except like the gay people who apply who you're afraid are going to unplug things like Johnny and Airplane.
Women are becoming hyper feminine.
Women are becoming hyper feminine. I know you've met MTG.
Cancer is exploding, infertility, and one side effect is mutated and tiny genitals.
Uh-oh. And hoofs. Why are you getting hooves? Why are they getting hooves?
And they make jokes saying Alex Jones says he has a small penis. Ha ha ha.
No. We all know you have a small penis. The funny part was you complaining about it. Also, the devil walking with what is this? What the fuck is this graphic? What does this have to do with anything? Who edited this in? Alex is super loud. I'm sorry. I don't know what the shit that is. What is this? The devil is making your balls shrink? What?
When I showed in the report...
Your balls. No, I'm sorry. That would be impossible because even though you have very fancy cameras, the lenses aren't that good.
Mainstream news and science reports showing that the side effect is...
Wait a minute. What? Oh, I'm still confused why you went to the devil walking the kids down the fucking flight. Hold on one second. Here we go. Clicking here. And you rang. Excuse me. Why the fuck did I make an appearance in that? What kind of creepy shit is that? I was dropping the kids off at school. And you guys are filming it. Look, there's always a slight sulfur haze. There's nothing I can do about it. No, don't sulfur shame. Secondly, those are my fucking kids, asshole. Well, I'm an interactive dad. For fuck's sake. What?
Is the deformed genitals in women and...
Excuse me. Look, I may not know art, but I know what I like. Ha!
And men, and they make a joke about it.
No. We make a joke about you. Obviously, there are serious issues, you know. As metaphysical as I am, I'm big on trust the science, just for the record.
Like I'm a 5-year-old or it's...
Well, you kind of look like a 5-year-old, like who grew a beard. You know what I mean? Like you're aging backwards like Benjamin Butthole. You know what I mean?
10-year-old, and I'm going to get upset because they say, Clay, I have a small weenie.
Yeah, you don't look upset at all. It's one thing I could say about you is any inference about your manhood, you always keep your cool. Well done.
It's ridiculous.
Well, okay. At least you didn't get upset.
Absolutely insane. And they're the
Well, crazy as this crazy does, little dick.
ones openly going after your sons, trying to convince them to sign up with the government to have their genitals removed.
You have to sign up with the government? This is overreach. In America, you should have the freedom to remove your own genitals. You know what I mean? Private property rights are sanctimonious. Why states' rights? You should be able to go to someplace in the state and sign up to have your genitals removed. You have to go to this is a federal thing now? What's with this nanny state bullshit?
But since they're so obsessed with my genitals...
No one is. They're obsessed with your ego and the hilarity of how delicate it is. Shellfish allergy, Wolverine.
I'm just obsessed with mutation. I'll let you know it's above average. I got 4 children.
Above average. All right. Average in what country? Your average for the week, does it come and go? It's above. You do realize that the length has nothing to do with the ability to impregnate. You can be built like a tuna can. It doesn't matter. That's the thing about it. Alex Jones fucks like he thinks. He'll never hit bottom, but he'll scrape the shit out of the sides.
I've had more women than you people ever imagine.
I would never imagine that. Look, I make nightmares, and I would never do that. I'm just saying, for the record, I create everyone's nightmares, and I would never imagine you having sex with any woman, much less several.
But that is a side issue.
Yeah, it certainly is.
No Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, we know that. We know you're no Wilt Chamberlain. You can't jump. Your moves get in the way.
You people are out of your minds.
What? Why would anyone ever say that I am anything but sane? I mean, it's rude. How dare you, sir, question my sanity? I'm responding to this in as natural and normal a way as anyone else. Excuse me. Hairball.
This has nothing to do with individuals. It has to do with us all collectively being under attack.
Yes, the communist penis, the collective penis. Human penises are shrinking because of pollutions, warns scientist. Dr. Shauna Swan, who is always found to be swiping right, has found chemicals called phthalates are causing human babies to be born with malformed genitals. Wednesday, March 2021, last year. Let's see, Sky News. I'm going to have to send this over to our correspondent, Hal Sparks, who will pick up our coverage, looking up the details of this story. Satan out. Hi, sorry. I mean, he got a picture drop. He's very the devil, you know, it's like a copyright thing or something. Hold on. Okay. I'm typing human penises right now, and that's fine. Are shrinking because here you go. Human penises are shrinking because of pollution, warns scientist. Dr. Shauna Swan is very disappointed in the dating pool. I'm kidding. Causing human babies, okay, all right. Penises are shrinking and genitals becoming malformed because of pollution, and environmental scientist has warned in a new book detailing the challenges facing human reproduction. Writes that humanity is facing an existential crisis in fertility rates as a result of phthalates, a chemical used when manufacturing plastics that impacts hormone-producing endocrine system. We've known this for a long time. As a result of this pollution, growing number of babies have been born with small penises, Dr. Swan writes. Her book, titled Countdown, examines how our modern world is threatening sperm counts, altering male and female reproductive development, and imperiling the future of the human race. Research began by examining phthalate syndrome, something observed in rats, which found that when fetuses were exposed to the chemical, they were likely to be born with shrunken genitals. She discovered that male human babies who had been exposed to the phthalates in the womb had a shorter anogenital distance, something that correlated with penile volume. Perhaps it just turns you into a grower, not a shower. It's grower, not shower syndrome. The chemical has an industrial use in making plastics more flexible, which is ironic because it makes other things less hard. Dr. Swan says it is being transmitted into toys and foods and subsequently harms human development. Phthalates mimic the hormone estrogen and thus disrupt the natural production of hormones in the human body, which researchers have linked to interference in sexual development in infants and behaviors in adults. Who's a professor of environmental science, on one study published in 2017, found that sperm levels among men in Western countries had dropped by more than 50% over the past 4 decades after examining 185 studies involving close to 45,000 healthy men. To find healthy, most of it correlates, by the way, there's been a lot of studies about this stuff. All of it correlates to obesity. It's not man to man. It's not like all men have lost 50% of their sperm. It's if you're obese, you're going to have a higher estrogen count. You're going to have a lower sperm count. Dr. Swan believes that the rapidly decreasing fertility rate means that most men will be unable to produce viable sperm by 2045. Well, I'll keep you posted. One study, okay, which is fine. It's always good to keep up on this stuff. I would also like to point out, if I may, let me see if I can do this real quick. If you go to Science Daily, hold on. Here you go. Let me scroll this up. Science Daily posts all the single serving studies that you'd like to find. For those of you that have seen me do stand up, before COVID, I was working out a bit called A New Study that I was ending my show with, where I would literally just grab these off the internet because they come in so hot and heavy. There's so many of these that they're single studies. They're not peer reviewed. Nobody has checked them, but they're easy to find. And people will write stories. If you need filler, these are great. A new study shows that blah, blah, blah. It's a great way to lie to people. And then if it turns out not to be the case, you can write another story. A new study shows that chocolate is great for you. A new study shows that chocolate is terrible for you. There's no downside no matter how the study goes. And the more contradictions, the better. Especially if it contradicts like our normal interpersonal experience. So new research may explain unexpected effects of painkillers. And May is very important. Limits of vision, seeing shadows in the dark, which sounds like a Dio song, by the way. Climate change likely to reduce the amount of sleep that people get per year, which will, of course, lower your sperm count, apparently. Stimulating brain circuits promotes neuron growth in adulthood, improving cognition and mood. Oh, look at that. You can have neuron growth in adult brains. That was one of the things for a long time they thought was impossible, and now we know it's not. Hubble reaches new milestone. Okay, planets of binary stars as possible homes for alien life. Long hypothesized next generation wonder material created. Oh, there's graphene. I love graphene studies. I'm just saying, graphene's the shit. At some point, your intestines are going to be lined with graphene. You're going to get it you're going to take a supplement or you're going to have surgery, or I don't know quite how it'll work out, but basically it's not quite adamantium, but it'll reinforce your body. It might be the thing that ultimately leads to us being able to walk in space without a suit. I'm just saying. I'm very excited. PFAS chemicals do not last forever. Once dubbed forever chemicals, per and polyfluoroalkyline substances, or PFASs, might be in the market for a new nickname. Adding iodide to a water treatment reactor that uses ultraviolet light and sulfite destroys up to 90% of carbon fluorine atoms in PFAS forever chemicals in just a few hours, reports a new study led by environmental engineers. The addition to that's good news. Look at that. We found some good news just dicking around. Once dubbed forever chemicals, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances might be in the market for a new name. Okay, that was what we were reading. Iodide is really doing some substantial work, says corresponding author Jin-Young Yu, an assistant professor of chemical and environmental engineering. Not only does it speed up the reaction, but it also allows the treatment of 10 times higher concentrations of PFASs, even some very recalcitrant structures. Lou's lab has been working at, where is this? Photochemical degradation by UV light and sulfite is to date one of the most effective ways to break PFAS down. The original process used a lot of electricity because the chemical reactions occurred slowly. It also left multiple carbon fluoride bonds remaining in the degradation products. I hate that when it happens. You know what I mean? When you have too many carbon fluoride bonds, carbon fluorine. I beg your pardon. Bonds. It sucks. Both suck. With unknown health effects. Last year, researchers reported that oxidation treatments before and after the UV sulfite treatment can achieve almost 100% destruction of carbon fluorine bonds in various major PFAS pollutants. That's awesome. Look at that. And they just came up with this, let's see. Huge step forward in this. I might as well drop some good news on you. This is, here you go. They made a big leap forward in this plastic-eating enzyme that could eliminate billions of tons of landfill waste. An enzyme variant created by engineers and scientists at the University of Texas at Austin can break down environmental throttling plastics that typically take centuries to degrade in just a matter of hours to days. This discovery, published today in Nature, could help solve one of the world's most pressing environmental problems: what to do with the billions of tons of plastic waste piling up in landfills and polluting our natural lands and water. The enzyme has the potential to supercharge recycling on a scale that would allow major industries to reduce their environmental impact by recovering and reusing plastics at the molecular level. Super exciting. Just saying. And one of the guys, where is he? Yeah, the guy who... the professor of chemical engineering, his name is Hal. Just saying. Hals are good people. We do our best. We catch a lot of shit with that shallow Hal nonsense and being the name of every like prick ex-husband in like rom-coms or dumb dads. But we Hals are doing our finest work. And by the way, it's the plasticizing agents that she's talking about largely, and then there's another fertilizer too. He'll probably bring it up because that's the one that he always brings up, or that's the one, the frog's gay thing.
But it's a fact that generation to generation, our genitals are shriveling up.
No, it isn't. It is not a fact that generation to generation, dicks are getting smaller. That's not what it says. Sperm counts have gone down in general in men in the last 50 years by 50%. And obesity tracks up from there. And it's not a direct arc. It didn't just do this kind of climb. It went ramp up like that because of men specifically being overweight. Like, that's it. The dicks didn't get smaller. And again, in the last 50 years, then why weren't you warning about this in the 80s, I guess?
Just another sign of how we're being killed.
We're not being killed. And by the way, these assholes, it's environmental. If you think Bill Gates and George Soros and shit are doing this and they somehow are avoiding it, I would ask how. They're in the environment. This is like the chemtrail argument. Like, what person do you know that's like amongst the rich and powerful that doesn't walk around under the fucking sky?
And no one can deny it. And it's
well, you don't have to deny it. You can just refute it, stupid.
What's going on?
Frogs gay. Gay frogs. Do gay frogs. Yell gay frogs. Yell gay frogs. Meme yourself again. You need the publicity, dipshit.
And yeah, my dad's cock is a lot bigger than mine, but
oh my God. Wait, what? What? Wait a minute. What? What? What happened? What? What? What the fuck? How? What? What happened? What? Where does this come from? This is Jesus Christ. What? Look at that. Stop it. Just stop. Oh shit! Oh, I did what I do. Hold
food
on.
and water.
Hold on. Did I lunge it ahead?
They poisoned me. See, now I'm giving you some lines to joke.
Oh God! Hold on.
The generation to generation, our genitals are shriveling up. Just another sign of how we're being killed.
Yes. What? You don't think it's an effort to make us be more intimate? You have to be closer to your loved one. That you can't freehand it.
And no one can deny it, and it's going on. And yeah, my dad's cock is a lot bigger than mine, but he just hurts women with that. So it's
Jesus Christ. What? Oh. Yeah, he's going to definitely end this show with a prayer. What is happening? I did. I clipped it. I made it a clip on Twitch. Twitch.tv/HalSparks. If you need to see that bullshit again. Wow. When's the last time you showered with your dad? I mean, okay.
Good that they poisoned me. See, now I'm giving you some lines to joke around on the internet with. Let's be really serious.
Yeah. That's, you accidentally said something out loud, and you're like, yeah, no, I was just giving you something to joke about.
Here, this is a chemical attack. It's a biological attack.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not an attack, fucko. It's laziness within the scientific community where they're all could and no should. where companies come up and go, hey, we got this chemical that allows us to do this thing. Oh, that's great. It works really well. And then environmentally, 10 years later, they find out it has ancillary effects. And then they either have to clean that up and fix it or alter the process or not use it. Or in some cases, they hide it for a little while to try and get away with it and say, maybe that was just one study and it's not our fucking fault and it's other stuff. And that's not an attack. Shit happens all the fucking time.
It's real. And
no, it isn't.
We need to focus on it.
No, we don't. We need to focus on it. By the way, buy InfoWar dick pills.
Mutating. All right, I was joking around some last segment, but the chemicals in the
some. It was dead serious about his dad's cock being bigger than his.
Food and water.
Must be all the plasticizing agents that he eats.
Destroying sperm counts and mutating women and men and causing massive cancer in their own.
By the way, the weirdest part about this is that he's leading this to why there's more trans and non-binary. This is the theory. When in reality, the mass of what you would call the TikTok trans and the like detransitioners, people who have transitioned and then transitioned back, largely are women. And the idea is that they were transing towards being a man, which would not be hyperfeminization. This would be the exact opposite. The rise in the number of trans men, which is the statistical rise in the numbers that we're seeing over the last couple of years, that normal awareness and people not being ashamed to be themselves, which beyond that. But the sheer numbers, what he's talking about, all that's in the trans man category as far as human beings. So if the case is that these chemicals are hyper-feminizing everybody, anecdotally, it's bullshit. I mean, I don't even know why I'm arguing this stupid fucking point. This is goofy.
On reports, it's not a joke.
Well, yes, it's a very serious thing, Alex, and that's why I think since you are so aware that it is a serious thing, you as an inserious person should not talk about it. You're fucking up the whole conversation.
It's very, 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 very serious.
Okay, great. How many varies was that?
And my point was, imagine the left and all these newspapers and publications that saw that.
That saw what? Themselves in a monitor and thought their hair was looking a little thin on top?
That rant I did last week, and I showed Sky News, I showed the New York Times, I showed mainline scientific reports about...
Mainline? Mainstream. Knowing just science right into my veins.
Girls going into puberty earlier, boys becoming feminized.
Well, if women are going into puberty earlier,
utero and after, genital sizes.
He was saying girls got pregnant at 5. Like, what the fuck?
Drinking, and not just in humans, but in other animals from the runoff. And they edit it down to make it a joke, not even caring about themselves. And the reason I point that out is that's the suicide pact that's going along with the New World Order.
I see. I realize they just ignore stuff that would save their own lives and their own children because they've signed a suicide pact with a transatlantic shipping partnership the United States had with other countries to establish free trade in the last 3 decades. That's what the New World Order was. It was a rules-based union of democracies against largely the Soviets and China, early days, before Deng Xiaoping specifically and before Glasnost, that would help us establish free trade between free countries, and that would be like an affirming alliance between people. But yeah, suicide pact and George Soros, super Jew, whatever.
They're announcing post-industrial world, collapse of living standards for 99.99999% of people. They're bathing us in radiation, 5G.
5G, we're going to 5G now? So basically, if you know, the penis shrinking chemicals don't work on their own. They have to, it's like the opposite of Captain America. They have to inject you with that stuff and then shoot you with anti-vita rays.
Our life expectancies are plunging. They're cooking.
No, they're not. No, they aren't. COVID dipped everybody's life expectancy because of the volume of people that died from it. But overall, your life expectancy hasn't shifted in the last fucking 20 years. If anything, it's gone up.
Looking up deadly viruses and releasing them, then giving us dangerous gene therapies as the answer that erases our immune system.
That erases our immune system. What the fuck? mRNA vaccines erase your immune system. All right. I mean, well, shouldn't I expect crazy at this point?
And anyone going along with the censorship, anyone going along with this is destroying them.
Yes, he got reappointed.
Themselves. Everything is happening at this summit. They're announcing the world taxes, the world tracking systems.
The world tax. The world tax. Oh, you mean the baseline business tax so that people can't offshore their corporate headquarters so they don't have to pay taxes in the country they are obviously from? They go all hide in Ireland like it's the international version of Delaware.
The carbon taxes.
The carbon taxes, yes, to limit the amount of carbon in the air and use that money to finance industries that don't put carbon in the air, in the same way that we shored up the petrochemical companies over the first 3 decades they were taking off through government subsidy and support that got them off the ground. But you've forgotten about that because that was in the fucking 50s.
The fact that you're going to have your standard of living destroyed. The fact that the third world's going to collapse. The fact that we've got to have hundreds of millions of, quote, refugees because of this transition that they are engineering.
Yes, they are engineering it through hurricanes and infectious disease and temperature rise and gay frogs. By the way, why don't you just take all, like, is the entire structure of this as fear farmers go? And I think we've got a I need to create a new graphic. Hold on one second, because I think we have a new hashtag for these dipshits that might work towards let's see, add source new let's see. Let's try this. Here you go. Put the text in here. Hashtag. And make it bold italic, and then we'll make it larger. Done. Whoops. I have to scroll up to the top. Okay, there we go. Okay, Doomer. Since OK Groomer and OK Boomer have become big, I think when we get Russell and this dickhead and some of our Flashpoint pricks who are end of the world dicks who are just selling the end of the world, this is my new hashtag for these dickheads. Okay, Doomer. I like it. I think it, right? Yes, you heard it here, folks. This is the birth of OK Doomer.
And they take out of all of that and all the proof I laid out.
Not proof. Single-use studies mixed with conjecture and your own fear and anxiety and your sales point for your entire fucking network. Not proof.
Let's make fun of it and say Alex Jones is mad. And
because his penis is because his penis is tiny. Because he's got a toadstool buried under a hillside.
And make up some ridiculous story.
Britain faces energy shock as bill surge set to surge 42%. Officer and CEO gives stark warning to U.S. longer on energy crisis. 12 million households going to be plunged into fuel poverty. Yeah, no, I mean, they're a monarchy and they have a strong social safety net. I'm not worried about, like, if people get plunged into fuel poverty, they'll fix it. Also, when you're transitioning away from relying on Russian fucking oil and gas because they are committing a genocide, There's going to be a little tightening of the belts, kids. You know, keep calm and carry on and all
as
that.
if I'm in junior high. And
No one would give you that much credit. Kids in junior high study history. If I
I'm in a care that the national news goes, oh, look, Alex Jones
has
a small peepee.
Well, yeah. Minuscule, I think. Diminutive, I think is the word I heard them use.
That's the type of crap here. Just like
okay, Foggy,
they did with the gay frog thing, where I did a whole 10-minute report, a whole segment with video clips in Berkeley, California, and Durban, South Africa reports, and reports out of Europe about...
You can't say Europe without pooping.
Frog and toad and other amphibian species becoming near extinct or extinct because of one chemical, atrazine, in the water.
Right. That atrazine's the plasticizing agent or the fertilizer that I was talking about earlier.
That turns the male frogs basically into females. The headlines of the studies are...
No, it doesn't. It causes genetic malformations so that they split and they have both, or they have shrunken testes, or they have 3 testes and ovaries and that kind of stuff. It's definitely a toxic impact. It does a lot of other shit to them. But that's the part you can spot the most. It also gives them cancer and brain tumors and fucking, has them born with their heart beating backwards. Like,
our 100% feminization conversion.
That's the doctor who did the study. He was on Democracy Now! A long time ago.
The one you're seeing here is out of Berkeley. That's just one prestigious, in-depth, 5-year-long study they did.
Yeah, because we sometimes make fertilizers or chemicals or pesticides or plasticizing agents that have secondary effects on humans and other animals that weren't intended in the first place. Again, not an attack, sloppy developmental science with a total disregard for environmental impact. It's why we need regulations. And it's why when every time these motherfuckers fight regulations, we're like, so you're just going to you just want... Basically, every time they're like, we need to cut regulations. We did more to cut regulations. We love cutting regulations. You're like, you guys aren't even checking them before you cut them. And so we're going to get more atrazines.
Looking at thousands of frogs.
That's not a truck you're looking at. That is a gay frog that's grown wheels.
So
that's not trees or grass. Those are mounds of gay frogs. It's gay frog pride. That it's the march. They've taken over one of the side roads.
That's real. And they go, oh, he says...
Or maybe it's crops. I don't know. I was looking at low risk.
Turning the frogs gay. And then the media says, well, what's wrong with gay frogs? Well...
Is that what we said? Is that what the media said? The media said, hey, stop being gay frogophobic. Why are you homophobic? Is that what they said?
Gay frog doesn't produce more frogs, doesn't produce more tadpoles, so the species dies. And the frogs are the canary in the coal mine.
You do realize this is all localized around areas where they have not outlawed this chemical. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. It's fucking... Here you go. So here's the EPA on atrazine. One second. Atrazine is a widely used herbicide that can be applied before and after. It's a weed killer. After planting to control broadleaf and grassy weeds, atrazine is a member of the triazine chemical class, which includes simazine and propazine. It is used primarily in agriculture, with the greatest use on corn, sorghum, and sugarcane. To a lesser extent, it is used on residential lawns and golf courses, particularly in the southeast United States. That's where Lindsey Graham, who, as gay frogs go, never mind. The agency's oversight of atrazine is dynamic and includes periodic reevaluation through the registration review process. Over the years, the agency has consulted with the FIFRA Scientific Advisory Panel on a variety of atrazine topics. In September 2020, EPA released the interim registration review decision for atrazine, propazine, and simazine, finalizing mitigation measures to protect human health and mitigate potential ecological risks. EPA completes interim registration review decisions to impose interim risk mitigation. This is their breakdown of it. But on this page, registration review of atrazine, monitoring of atrazine in drinking water, atrazine ecological exposure monitoring program, triazine registration. They go through all of them. Completed its first round of registration review in 2020, which is the agency periodic reevaluation program for existing registered pesticides. Each registered pesticide must be re-reviewed every 15 years, so EPA will complete the next round of registration for atrazine by 2035. All documents related to this round of registration review for atrazine can be found in the registration review docket here. The preliminary work, June 2013, described our process for re-evaluating atrazine, recent actions, planned human health and ecological risk assessments, and the expected review timeline. Upon publication, final human health mitigation, rate reduction for residential turf applications. So reduce application rate for granular atrazine products applied to residential turf from 2.2 pounds active ingredient per acre to 2 pounds. So they've lowered the dosage to stop runoff, essentially. Reduce application rate for atrazine spray applications for residential from 2 pounds to 1 pound. Additional personal PPE, combination of single and double layer clothing with gloves, PF10 respirators, and engineering controls. These are the people who are actually spraying it, so they don't get it on them because it's direct contact that is the problem. Final ecological mitigation. Add mandatory spray drift reduction language. Add herbicide resistance management language. If at any time EPA determines there are urgent human or environmental risks from atrazine exposure that require prompt attention, we will take appropriate regulatory action regardless of the status of the registration review process. And these are all the dockets on the stuff. Monitoring it in the drinking water. 2006, they did this document contains the January IRED, October 2003 revised IRED, memorandum of agreement with registrants. As part of the review, decades of study, EPA is considering amendments to the 2004 Memorandum of Agreement that would require for continued drinking water monitoring under the AMP. So this is that we have stuff in place in the United States for this. Now you'll notice that the article that he cited about where is it? The article that they put forward about this. If I can ever find it again, was from Australia. It was a Sky News report, and a lot of it is about other countries that don't have as strict regulations about it as we do. This is my point. Okay, let's continue.
And I know as an audience you know that, but with all this going on, trending over the weekend is one of the top things was
Alex Jones is got a tiny peepee.
Alex Jones's penis.
Well, no, it was not one of the top. It was actually much smaller trend than people thought, actually. They were shocked that when they finally saw the size of the trend that it was a lot smaller than they expected.
Above it, thank God.
Even with their low expectations, I would like to say, for the record.
Was Bill Gates, biological terrorist. That was number one. So that's good.
Yeah, good. So Bill Gates, biological terrorist, Alex Jones's penis. This is what the internet should look like. Fuck what concerts are coming up and normal interactions and what's your favorite Estelle Getty character over the course of her career. Fuck that.
But I expected when I did that rant last week for them to pick that up out of context and to attack me.
No, it was in context, just like you oddly saying your dad's cock is bigger than yours.
And then now
and that he hurts women with it.
There's a big debate online everywhere about, oh, look, he's right. Genitals are shrinking. People are being sterilized. Sperm counts are plunging. Here's why. And the best-selling book, Countdown, with the
best-selling book, Countdown.
Top scientist laying
with the top scientist, a book.
Out how this is creating the potential extinction of humanity, something the globalists are pushing, why would
they are humans, I suppose. Or are we back to lizard people at this point? Wait a minute, but it affects frogs. Do you think lizards would fare better?
Toxic chemicals in the environment when they have replacement chemicals that work better and are cheaper. It's being done by design. So
they're just going to sterilize themselves rather than work. We're back to like they've got a car engine that runs on water, and anybody who talks about it's going to be murdered.
When I got up here and I said, when they collapsed the third,
you didn't get up. You sat there like a frog with daddy issues.
World, the next few years of lockdowns under IMF World Bank order, it's going to cause people to engage in cannibalism, and one day that'll come here. If the global
we'll have nothing to eat but each other. Sexy.
globalists have their plan for the Great Reset.
Yes, the Great Reset is the human buffeting of your neighbor.
And so I'm having to think about hauling my neighbors up with a chain and eating them.
No, you're not. And if you're thinking about that, you're a fucking lunatic. What? It's that or go vegan, which will make my dick shrink.
And I said before,
I'm not going to eat soy unless somebody's like, Soy Raphael. Like, my name is Raphael. I'll eat Raphael.
This is an analogy.
Yes, it's an analogy.
Of a modest proposal by Jonathan Swift. They edit all that out. And they say Jones is going to kill his neighbors.
No. We don't think you have the guts or the ability to do any of that shit. Also, unless your neighbors are chocolate cakes, I can speak from experience, you would have no interest in gnawing on them.
I haven't had neighbors ask me about it. Well, I heard about that. It's a joke, right? I'm like, yeah. You heard of Jonathan Swift?
No. Also, I'm not your neighbor, sir. This is a Wendy's. Secondly, Alex Jones's neighbors don't talk to him. For fuck's sake. And if he does, he's an even bigger liar than he's always said. Because if apparently the New World Order has a price on your head, why the fuck are you chit-chatting with the people who just moved in next door?
They were old enough, they'd read A Modest Proposal.
Yeah, that was nice. That was good. Phew.
When he wrote Satire saying, let's not feed the Irish. Let's just make them eat their children. So...
Great. Yeah. You're staying on point. I'm with you. Some of the people in my chat are confused by your bullshit. Not me. I get it. I can see the linkage.
These people are unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And
yes, I agree. The imaginary neighbor that you allegedly spoke to, I don't believe them. I don't believe they exist. They are unbelievable people.
I
have a small penis. Is that what you were going to say? I feel like
purposely,
it's a cookbook.
Ladies and gentlemen, come here and tell the truth. Lay it all out. And
ew. Well, we wouldn't even know if you did. If you came in here and laid it all out, I mean, we'd have, even if we squinted.
And they spin it and lie. But always, within a month or a year or 2 years, it causes an explosion of awakening. And people care. Because if they don't care about a New York Times #1 bestseller, Countdown to Extinction, documenting it, and we covered it decades before they did. I'm not territorializing, it's just a fact. I know the book's true because I already know all that stuff.
Right, of course.
The point is, #1 New York Times bestselling books, major academic discussion.
So you're saying that we should take very seriously books sold on the New York Times and use that as our measure for quality. Also, this freeze frame of you ironically showing us what you wish the size of your penis was, and yet each finger representing closer to the reality. If you double it.
Probably the #1 around the world. The globalists admitting they're involved in it in
a hologram message right into my cerebral cortex.
Some of the books written in the 1970s.
Some of the books written in the 1970s. But no penthouse letters, I hope.
Like Eco Health by Obama's science czar. He was later the science czar, John P. Holdren. They said we'll add chemicals to the food chain to do this.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. For the record, in EcoHealth, they did not write things that were going to add chemicals to sterilize people on purpose. Most of what they're saying is we will have chemicals that will allow us to increase yields and increase and lower the number of pesticide problems and weeds and the like using science.
They have done it by design, and it's one of the biggest issues of the ongoing attack, but it's not fast enough.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is it the thing about the New World Order is they lack patience
For them, and so they're moving ahead with the poison injections and the COVID-19 that does attack fertility, and yes, does attack the female and male genitals.
Really? Hopefully gently at first. I don't mind the attack. It's just, can you work your way up to it?
Oh, your ovaries are being eaten. Why are you women complaining that it attacks your ovaries? Oh, you have small ovaries. It has nothing to do with that, but that's...
That was great. That was I love when he goes off on an improv rant. I just, he should be on, like, Whose Lie Is It Anyway?
It's the junior high mentality of having your testicles and your ovaries attacked, and they make a joke about that. That is sick.
They're not. They're joking about your inserious inability to grasp a complex issue, and you're using it as an attack point, as if it proves your political point of view is somehow more valid because of potential chemical spread of herbicides, pesticides, or fertilizers and plasticizing agents, which everybody is worried about. And we have a functioning government to try and get rid of. And the only problem we have is when companies hide details from the regulators, which you guys are trying to hamstring anyways.
Let me get back to this.
Yeah, please don't go too far astray. I was starting to worry about your ovaries.
I'm just completely overwhelmed right now. I mean,
it's, you know what it is? Sometimes that happens when you get emotional. It may be that time of the month, Alex. And I'm kidding. Just don't even.
The mass heart attacks in sports from the injections are just even mainstream news.
The mass heart attacks? You mean both of them?
Unbelievable information that I saw yesterday and didn't even get to. We will today. They sicked the FBI on people peacefully protesting at school board meetings about critical race theory.
No, they haven't. They have not. They have not sicked the FBI on anyone. They haven't. If you threaten to murder a teacher or threaten the school with a bomb threat, you're going to get a visit. Fuck you.
Drag queen pedophile time.
Sorry, drag queen pedophile time?
We will today. They sicked the FBI on people peacefully protesting at school board meetings about critical race theory and drag queen pedophile time.
What are they protesting, though? Do they want more of it? Did they have unanswered questions?
Well, now the National Guard Union.
By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. We're almost through this nonsense. For fuck's sake. He posted this. Think of all the things he said, and he was like, yeah, clip that.
The National School Union called for Biden to deploy the military to suppress the general public from protesting.
Yeah, is that how the general public from protesting? Is that what they called for?
Same left that burned down $3 billion of property.
So the teachers union set fire to all the targets in Portland.
I mean, these people are true authoritarians. They want to arrest you. They want control over your body. They want to put in your...
Oh, do they now? I'm sorry. Now we're back to talking about Texas anti-abortionists.
Your body what they want. And the Davos group is announcing it's in control of the
Davos.
UN. Tedros just got signed back up for 5 more years with the WHO.
So what?
We're doing a great job running the lockdowns and the bioweapon release.
The bioweapon release. Okay, cool. So he was working on behalf of China, and we fall into China, apparently. Is this what we're doing?
And now they're announcing carbon tax.
Hold on. National School Union called for Biden to deploy the National Guard to deal with protesting parents and use the military to monitor board meetings during fury over classrooms being shit. Draft letter, which was later cut out, had said that reports of critical race were pushed into school curriculums were propaganda. Okay, let's see what this says. I mean, it's a great rambly title. Let's see. Daily Mail. National school union vote for Biden. Here you go. So this is the actual, here you go. Look at that. It's almost identical. Let's see. National School Board, School Union called for Biden to deploy the National Guard to deal with protesting parents and use the military to monitor board meetings during fury over classrooms being shut down during draft review reveals. So are they saying that the draft maintained that? Because it did. All right, hold on. Let's see. Is the draft version the version that they got? All right. One portion of the draft letter, which was later cut out, so they didn't call for it. Okay. Said that reports critical race theory was pushed in school curriculums were propaganda. Okay. The early draft also referred to the protesting parents as plotters who are targeting schools and educators, or some of the parents were plotters who were targeting schools and educators. Not all the parents, specific ones. An independent review of the infamous letter that likened protesting parents to terrorists found that it only had approval of 4 people at the NSBA. The NSBA letter drew backlash and a slew of state chapter exits, prompting a redaction and an apology. So they circulated a draft letter. They never called for Biden to deploy this. Fucking 4 people at the NSBA approved of this letter, and everybody else was like, what is this bullshit? The draft version of the infamous letter the NSBA sent to Biden, likening angry parents to domestic terrorists, even asked for the Army National Guard. We asked the Army National Guard as military to be deployed to certain school districts and related events where students and school personnel have been subjected to acts and threats of violence. Okay, so just there. Subjected to acts and threats of violence. So if there aren't any acts or threats of violence, null and void. The draft letter, which was later amended, read, according to an independent review of the letter. Sorry, the draft letter, which was later amended. So I don't give a fuck what was in it when they were thinking about it. What the one that was sent to them actually say. Again, what is this bullshit about this prick going, I come here and I tell you the truth. I'm here to tell you the truth about the truth. The truth. And then if you read 2 fucking paragraphs down, or even in the summary of the fucking thing, an independent review of the infamous letter that likened protesting parents to terrorists found that it only had the approval of 4 people at the NSBA. Jesus Christ.
Taxes and pain for you while they double and triple their money. It's just unbelievable.
What are they going to spend it on if everybody's dead? Robots? Sex robots, probably, right? I hope so. And then the rest of this is going to add up. So, end of the world, they're going to shrink your dick and murder you, and then you're going to eat your neighbors, and you're going to have nothing to eat but gay frog legs, which will turn you French and gay and French, apparently. And then, if you're scared of that,
whether you like it or
buy some shit. And then the rest of this is like, wait. What was the Ultra 12? B12? Where the fuck do you get this stuff made? Yeah, do you oversee the entire process? Because I'm going with bought from Mexico, poured into bottles. You print your own labels.
And again, this is the same pharmaceutical grade B12 people inject. Don't do that.
Jesus Christ. Yes, don't inject anything that this asshole sells you. I take this, I put 1 dropper in my butthole, I give it a good squeeze, and like I see visions of gay frogs, and then my dick feels bigger. It's not, but it feels bigger. Ew.
Sugar in that? It doesn't say sugar in the bottle.
No, this is not adrenochrome or anything. Okay, for fuck's sake, if this was a Democrat, if I did this, if I was selling this Ultra 12, and this is what this shit looked like.
Every morning or every night, whenever you want.
Just take this, open it up. They go, he's selling adrenochrome. This is baby blood, fetus goo, fetus
people
goo.
That taste
what the shit?
That they call us, they say, is there sugar in that? It doesn't say sugar in the bottle. No. Vitamin B12, real organic vitamin B12.
Is red, just like as it comes out of the baby penises.
Taste incredibly sweet. And
And it's a sweetness you've never experienced before.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my girlfriend's pretty great. I'm just saying, Summer's lovely. She's a beautiful woman. She's very smart. Just kind of snuggling with her is a kind of a sweetness. It's almost transcendental, honestly. And I gotta say, I mean, it's about as sweet as getting your balls tanned, or taking an eyedropper full of adrenochrome. I would say, yeah, you're right, Jonathan. It is the Daily Mail article too. Even their title is bullshit just to draw people in, and then it's like all the Daily Mail stories are like, like a balloon being let go. Like, oh, look, a balloon.
So listen, this could be salt water. This could be a placebo, and it'd be worth it because it funds the InfoWar, but it's not.
It could be bullshit. It could be toxic. It could be terrible for you. And it'd be worth it just if you bought it. Because I need your money. Because it funds the InfoWar. Shut the fuck up. By the way, this is Hal Sparks. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Infotainmentwars.com. Like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show. Have you thought about subscribing? Oh, we're getting close to 1,000. It's at 999. It's very small. I'll have to bring us back over. 1 second. Yep, 999. We're one away from 1,000 subscribers. We're still shy of our 2,500, but we're staying within wiggle room. Just saying.